So, hi, my name's Caroline and I'm from Partners for Agencies, and I'm here today with Rodney Fear, the sales director from a very exciting agency called DCube. So, hi Rodney, how are you today?
Yes, I'm fine, thanks Caroline. How are you?
Yeah, all good over here. So, Rodney, tell me a little bit about DCube.
DCube is a visualization company. We're headquartered here in the UK, and we specialise in creating hyper-realistic imagery, animation and VR, primarily for the retail, KBB and manufacturing industries, although we have done quite a lot in the past for architecture and interior design industries also.
Right, so DCube is a CGI agency.
Yeah, exactly. So CGI, animation, VR and augmented reality.
Great. And how long have you been established, and how many years and how many are in the agency?
We've been established for actually 4 years this month actually.
Wow.
So just for having our 4th birthday. There's 6 of us here in Leicester. So mainly kind of sales and project management function. But our main actual production studio is based in the Ukraine, and we've got about 40 designers there.
Wow, that's quite a sizable production team.
Yes, no, exactly, yeah.
So can you give me some examples of what you do and who you do it for?
So as I previously mentioned, we work with architects, or kind of marketing managers, marketing directors, persons who want to get their design or their product out to market. They want to be able to illustrate it and promote it in certain environments. So with architects, we do a lot with kind of walkthroughs within buildings that they're kind of getting planning permission for, images of obviously kind of new developments, that sort of thing. And if marketing people, companies who've got kind of products, something within the built environment, typically kind of flooring, furniture, that sort of thing. It really helps them to be able to promote their products in a nice environment, somewhere that's actually people can actually imagine it in their home, if that makes sense.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, and do you work for any other agencies?
Yes, very much so. Yeah, we've got a lot of agency partners that we work with.
Okay, and do you look for new agency partners at all, or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're always on the lookout for kind of the next agency to work with, and obviously kind of help them take their CGI work to the next level, really.
Super. And so my notes here say that you've created a 3D scene library. So what is that? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So our 3D scene library, it's a collection of over 6,000 scenes we've created. Now these aren't kind of backdrops. These are proper full 3D scenes that we've created.
And what do you do with that library? Who accesses it? Can anyone access it?
The idea of the library is basically to help business owners. If they've got a product they want to display within the built environment, as I mentioned before, obviously it saves them a lot of time and effort trying to kind of create a bespoke scene. So what they do, we send over the library. They find a scene from that library that they like. We then add in their products. So rather than actually having to create a scene bespoke, perhaps for a one-off image, they're just using our scene library, which actually kind of saves them a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of hassle, really.
Okay, so a 3D scene is essentially like just using a Photoshop background, is that right? No,
so it's a full 3-dimensional scene. So that means you can change anything within the scene. You can change the angle. It's a full CGI. It's not a background.
And so why would I choose a pre-created scene over a bespoke CGI?
Yeah, okay, good question. So there's a number of reasons really. Probably the first one would be speed. So we could turn around one of these images typically in as little as 48 hours. In fact, the other day we had a project where we had someone who came to us and wanted it within 24 hours. We managed to do that as well. So it's a lot quicker. Efficiency again. If you're selling a product, like I mentioned before, so furniture or flooring, you aren't actually selling the whole scene. You want your product within a nice scene, but you don't really want to have to pay to create the whole scene bespoke, when in fact you could use a scene that's already created and just sell your product. And then finally, price. So as I've previously mentioned, why pay for a bespoke scene when you could just pay for what you need?
Yeah, brilliant. And so is there a huge cost difference between the library and a bespoke scene?
Yes, no. I mean, we're not going out there to be the cheapest. Obviously, our images are very high quality, but there's not really a direct comparison because if you're creating a bespoke scene, obviously there's a lot of work, hidden cost that goes into it. You know, your time finding an environment that you want it to look like, and obviously back and forth and designing and so forth. So, you know, apples for apples, there is a slight cost saving for using a pre-created image, but the majority of the cost saving is actually kind of hidden costs and time. And, you know, the benefit of it really is the speed and efficiency over the cost. Obviously, cost is a very nice bonus. But that isn't the main selling point of this particular offering.
And so how many products could you add into a single scene?
We can add as many unique products as you want. Within the base price, you can add up to 3 unique products. But then obviously, over and above that, this is just a minimal charge. And you can have as many iterations. You can have multiple iterations of the same products, you know, for the same price. There's no additional cost for that.
Yeah. And are you constantly adding to your library?
Yeah, we're always adding to it. You know, we're obviously aware that it's a finite resource, it's not infinite. Different countries have different, you know, design styles, so we're constantly adding to it and growing it. And you know, if someone comes to us and they don't like what's in our library, then we're more than happy to create something bespoke for them, provided we can add it to the library. And there's only a minimal cost increase for that.
Great. And what capacity do you have to produce these scenes?
We have over 40 designers, as I mentioned, in our studio in the Ukraine, so plenty of capacity there. And we're always kind of discovering new, better, innovative ways to actually make creating images quicker and faster. I mean, like the other day, for example, we created an image creator for one client. They were producing blinds, and they wanted about 20,000, 30,000 images. Obviously, that's going to be very costly in the traditional way of creating CGI. We actually created an image creator so they can just drop their fabric in and click render and job done, really, which it's not always possible. But if you've got huge quantities of different fabrics in the same sort of scene, then it's, you know, more than possible. So we're always finding ways to make it quicker, easier, and more available to every company out there.
So they're the main people that use the library. Who else, for example, would use your library? This
particular service is best for people who are selling a product that's used in the built environment. You know, be it interior or exterior products. So it could be furniture, flooring, lighting, doors and windows, kitchens, bathrooms, you know, that sort of kind of product.
So do they send you the product and then do they send you the images and then you slot them into your background?
We would actually create a full 3D model of each product.
Oh, a 3D model, lovely.
Yeah, I mean, we sometimes create that from images, or if there's enough quantity, we'd actually come and 3D scan the product. It's on a project by project basis, really.
Okay, so on the other mainstream CGI offerings, can you remind me what you do?
So we offer basically the complete range of CGI visualization. You know, CGI, animation, VR, augmented reality, architectural visualization. So really the complete range really of CGI offerings.
Great. So Rodney, how would you describe where your agency is focused now?
The 3D scene library is proving really popular, and that is probably our main focus at the moment. And it obviously lets us create hyper-realistic CGI without the time and cost involved in creating something bespoke. Obviously that is our main focus currently, although we are still kind of working with developers, architects, interior designers, that sort of thing. And yes, the bespoke scene library is very fast. It's a great offering. We can, as I mentioned, we can turn around images in as little as 48 hours, which is, I think, a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds absolutely fantastic. Brilliant idea. Well, Rodney, they're all my questions for today. So thank you so much for your time. I'll let you go now.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks for answering all the questions. All the best.
Cheers, thanks, bye.
Bye.